Next 40 minutes or 30 minutes, we will try to summarize chapter 13. Chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. So, a quick introduction. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. I'm sure everyone knows the essence of Bhagavad Gita. If not, I can. The essence is that Arjuna decided not to fight because he saw his relatives on the other side. As a king, it is his duty to fight. It's like a cop. If you're in trouble, if you call the cop and if you decide not to take action because he sees his friends involved in the situation. So the whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is empowering, encouraging Arjuna to do his duty. So that's the whole theme. So the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says, okay, now I understood, now I can fight. So the summary is that Bhagavad Gita is not making us lazy. It is giving the right path to everyone to be engaged and be. So there is many ways to understand and reach God. By doing our duty, performing our duty is also one way to reach God. That's one way to get perfected. So first 6 chapters talk elaborately on this topic of how we can get perfected by doing our duty properly. Krishna, he logically defeats Arjuna that in any case it's better to do your work, because if you don't do your work you can't even get your food, right? And it's not that we can keep quiet. Our nature is to work. Everyone is, not even for a second, living entity is ideal from doing any action. So, and if you stop working in a impure state of consciousness, generally we tend to do sinful activities. So it's better to be engaged to save us from sinful life. That's one logic. And even if you consider yourself to be purified, still it's better to work so you can set a good example to others. So if you are purified, naturally you are in the elevated state in the society. And Krishna says, whatever the best people do, the common man follow. Whatever examples you set, others will take it forward. So it's better to. So this way, this whole theme is trying to, first 6 chapters he elaborates on this. The next 6 chapters, he talks about himself. Krishna, who is he and what is his details about himself, his opulences. And so that is Bhakti Yoga. So it's a secret. It's hidden in between these first 6 and the last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So now we are chapter 13, which is the last part, the last section, which is focusing more on the knowledge, Jnana Yoga. So we can get perfected with by choosing this path of gaining knowledge of various fields of this material nature, of the spiritual nature, and of ourself, our body, the Supreme Lord. So this is a much more complex way, because the easiest way is to just do our duty. And Bhakti Yoga is also defined. There is a slight difference between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Can anyone say? I mean, we have discussed before. Any clues? How do you differentiate Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga in terms of work? Like Karma Yoga involves work, Bhakti Yoga also involves work.
Devotion.
Well,
Devotion, yes, but
well, one is more focused on the materialistic gain. I think that may be the Karma Yoga is focused much more on materialistic aspect of it.
Okay. Yes, to some degree, but see, if you are focused only on the materialistic gain, that cannot be called yoga. The yoga, when you put yoga at the end of anything, that means your goal is to unite with God. That's the meaning of yoga. So when you say yoga, and you prefix yoga with something, so the prefix part is the means with which you are trying to reach God. Like if you say dhyana yoga, so the dhyana is the way that you choose to reach God. So when you say karma yoga, karma is the way we choose to reach God, not to gain the profits. So the gaining profits part is called karma khanda. It's not yoga. Karma khanda. So the first step after karma khanda is sakama karma yoga. There you're still attracted to the results, but you at least acknowledge that everything is coming from God.
Correct.
And you are attracted towards performing righteous things. You're not into illegal and illicit things. So that is the first step towards yoga. And then the karma yoga, it's really you're not attracted to the result. You're attracted to performing the duty, irrespective of what result you get. So that's where the karma yoga is. So for bhakti yoga is one step ahead of this. What could be that? Like if we define karma yoga is you're attracted to the work, but not to the result. I'm giving a clue. So in this you may be attracted to the work you do. Attached, I'm saying, not attracted. You may be attached to the work you do, but not to the result. Okay, I'll give something in between. The karma yoga is you're attached to the work. Definitely, like I'm attached to my software job. It pays me good money, little time, work from home, work from India, all these flexibilities. So I'm definitely attached to that. But I'm not attached to the result. Okay, the result I'm trying to use it in the service of God. So it's up to God what result He gives. So, and the next step is you're not attached to the work and also not attached to the result. But you're attached to?
The chant.
Bhakti.
The chanting.
The Lord.
Yes.
Attached to please the Lord.
Correct.
In the first step, your attachment to pleasing the Lord may not be intense. But Bhakti Yoga, the intensity is that you don't mind any work. It doesn't have to be software. It doesn't have to be America. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter. So that is Bhakti Yoga. So now Jnana Yoga is all about understanding various aspects of the material nature, of the body, of the soul, of the spiritual soul, the super soul, things like that. So the first chapter is very interesting. Arjuna starts with asking questions, different topics, to Krishna. What is material nature? And who is the enjoyer? What is the field of activities? And who is the knower of the field of activities? Stuff like that. And then the 14th chapter talks about in detail about the three modes of nature. If you understand systematically the material nature, also you will, like the scientist, a true scientist, ultimately he'll figure out that there is a supreme controller, a sincere, like Einstein, Newton, all the great scientists. And if you study the matter, some childish, child scientists, they may have a puffed up nature and they may deny, but the true scientists do that. So pretty straightforward. So Arjuna asked 5 questions, right? First 5 topics. First is Prakriti, Purusha. Prakriti, Purusha. Let's remember the Sanskrit word.
Field.
Kshetram. Kshetram is a field. So what? Prakriti, Purusham, Kshetram, Kshetrajnam. Kshetrajnam means, Jnam means knower of the field. So what is the field and who is the knower of the field? And Jnanam. Jnana means
Knowledge.
knowledge. Geyam.
About who to get the knowledge?
Geyam. Telugu we can easily understand. Geyam. We also say Deyam. Geyam.
Intention.
Yeah. So what is the object of the knowledge? Geyam. So what will you ultimately gain? It sounds like gain. What are you gaining from this knowledge? Right? Gain. So what are the 5 words we have to learn today from this chapter? Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetram, Kshetrajna, Jnanam, Geyam. 6. Yeah, sorry, not 5, 6. Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetram, Kshetrajna, Jnanam and Geyam. Yeah, 6. Okay. So now Krishna starts answering with the simple thing. Now it's like building blocks. You need to start with the basic thing, the easiest thing first, before you define the complex thing, right? So out of all these 6 topics, the easiest thing is, sorry?
Knowing our own self.
No, let's say, out of Prakriti, Purusha, the field, the knower of the field, the knowledge and the object of knowledge. Which one of these sounds easy?
Knowledge.
No, but so before you get knowledge, you should know what you're supposed to know, right? So it starts with field. Field. Krishna, he says this body is a field for us. And who is the knower of the field? It's we.
The knower of the field.
Yeah. Now who knows the body? So the body is the field, just like in our home's backyard. So we have a field, right? And then we put the kids in the field, so they do their activities in the field. Right? They know their field. So everyone has the different size of that. Depends on how rich you are. They have different activities, right? So similarly, we get our field. This body is a field for us to play. This spirit soul is encaged in this field. Just like the kids are encaged. They can only play in that field. They can't go without the permission of. So that's how it is. So we. So the body is a field, and the knower of the field is the soul. By the way we talk, also we mean it. We say, my body is paining. We don't say, I body is paining. Right? When we go to doctor. Right? So in the common language. So that means I am in this body. I am in this field. So my field is shaking or breaking, whatever. Right? I say my body. So if you just say vision, so it's clear. So the field is the body. So we will know the details of the body, and knower of the field is the soul. So now, out of 6 topics, the first Krishna explained 2 topics: the Kshetram and Kshetrajna. Kshetram is the body, and the soul is Kshetrajna. And in this verse, he is also talking about super soul. The soul is the knower of the body. The super soul is the knower of all the bodies. It's like if you own the township, or if you, so you know everyone's backyard thing. House, what is the sign? So it's like that. So, and he is now, so he said, who is the knower of the body? There are two knowers of the body. One is your soul, the second is the super soul. The yogis, you've been to yoga, the yogis, they meditate to know the super soul within themselves. And then he's also describing now what is the knowledge. So to understand this body and its knower is jnana, knowledge. So what is knowledge? Knowledge, formula, knowledge equals to the field plus the knower of the field. There are two knowers of the field, the soul and the super soul. That is knowledge. So just like, he's saying, I am the knower of all the bodies. Just like, when we pinch this body, we feel pain. Right? So I am the knower of this body. I pinch anywhere, I feel pain. Right? But the God can feel pain in all the bodies. So throughout so that's what knower of the body. So he is here in everyone's heart. He not only feels the pain, he also feels the feelings. And it's not by chance that we bump into, we say, we sometimes give credit to luck. We say, oh, it's so lucky that we just met, Sometimes in a fraction of seconds we get to know things and we meet right people, right time. So this is because he is the knower of the bodies. So you know what you need and you know what he needs, and he can put us together at the right time. And sometimes you break your hand, you don't remember. Right? So this is called the knower of all the bodies. So now Krishna is elaborating this field into 5 more detailed things. So he simplified field. In the first answer he said field, body is the field. The soul is the knower of the field. I also know all the bodies, so I am also the knower of all them. The knowledge is to know all these 3 things. Now he is elaborating the field, and he is going to explain in future the field of activity, which is again field, so which is where we perform different activities. How it is constituted, what is the constitution, what are the ingredients of this field, and what are the changes that it goes through. Right? It is born, it is grown, it produces byproducts, it dwindles and it dies. Different changes and why. When it is produced, and who that knower of the field of the activities is, and what his influences are. So he will further elaborate this topic in future. See now how humble God is. He can declare, he doesn't have to give any reference. So, one may say, he has all good qualities, he has all opulences. That's why we are attracted to God. And he can say everything, but he's also giving another reference. This is my opinion, and you can also refer to Vedas. He's giving the, generally there are 3, it's not that anyone can say anything, like this modern world, everyone is coming up with their own philosophy. But the ancient way of accepting truth is that whatever you present has to be in accordance to the revealed scriptures and the practitioners and the teachers, the Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Right? So here Krishna is taking the position of Guru and he's saying the same thing you can refer in the scriptures and also the practitioners. So the field, he gave a simple answer, the body is the field. Now he is elaborating. The body consists of this, how many are there total? Can anyone count quickly?
24.
Huh? 24, right?
24.
He is very intelligent. He went to that 4 part. Anyway, so the In Sankhya Yoga, they study these 24 elements in detail. Actually.
How many?
Hmm?
How many?
24.
24.
So that's the Jnana Yoga. So the five great elements, everyone knows, right? Bhumi, Rapo, Ranalo, Vayu, earth, water, air, ether, fire. These are the five elements. Anyway, so there is one. One is more subtler than the other. The five elements, the gross elements. The grossest thing that in our body is, what is the grossest thing in our body? Earth, the flesh, made of earth. And then, what is the next subtler element? Water.
Water.
What is subtler than water? See,
Air.
our body consists of water, earth, and
Fire.
Water it's fire.
fire is subtler than water. And what is subtler than fire?
Air.
Air.
And what is subtler than air?
Ether.
So this is where the main five ingredients out of which this body is made. And what is subtler than the ether?
Mind. Mind.
Mind. So what is subtler than the mind? And the Western philosophy stops with mind. So if we break mind again into three pieces, that's when you can talk about intelligence, which is supposed to be the master of the mind. Because now the mind will say something, but something else will say, oh no, this is wrong. That is intellect. Okay. So what is subtler than the intelligence? Ego, false ego. So how this body is formed is the reverse order. First we got the ego. When we were happily playing with the Supreme Lord, or when we were happily living there, or we were on the way or whatever. So we developed, just like the kids, they imitate us, right? The girls imitate the mother cooking, they have kitchen, and the boys have cards and games and different things. So this is our nature to imitate. So the same nature, we started imitating the Lord in the spiritual world. Not to the small scale, but then we thought, okay, let me take over the control. Now that I have all the qualities of the Supreme Lord, then He immediately gave us the control by sending us here. Because there, we can take over the control. So that is the false ego. When the false ego comes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This false ego, is it an attribute of the soul, or like it's an element, gross element, just like earth, water? How it is exactly different?
See, beyond ether, there is no gross. The mind is subtle. You can see the mind and intellect. So beyond mind, everything is so subtle. Ego. Yeah.
So it's not an element.
It's a subtle element. Yeah. It's eight.
But
First,
who created that element, false ego?
of course, God also has false ego. We need to have true ego. True ego is that I am the servant of God, or I belong to God. That is true ego. False ego is that, oh, I am God. I am the enjoyer. This is false.
Humility, pridelessness, nonviolence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance.
Thank you. So see how nicely Krishna is giving this information. And whatever else is ignorance.
And effects. Whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world.
Okay. So in the next chapter, chapter 14, it will tell more about the details of nature. material nature is the cause of all material causes and effects.